Hello and welcome to Humble Society podcast. My name is Omar and I'll be your host for this show. Humble Society is a podcast platform, but we will also have YouTube videos. It allows us to find inspiring members within our societies that have inspiring stories to give and or experiences that we could, possibly learn from. Also, you might be looking for an alternative to music or audible books. You can come and listen to this podcast. Um, if you are new to this, you can simply access your podcast app, which is free, and you don't need to create any accounts. You can simply search for Humble Society, and boom, we'll be right there. Anyhow, today's episode is with an amazing human being. He's a teacher at Australian Islamic College, a registered minister of religion, and an imam at Australian National Imams Council, and also a registered Islamic marriage celebrant. And most importantly, he is inspiring humble individual. In this episode, we speak about starting Ramadan, how to benefit from Ramadan, and many more benefits, which I'll leave you guys to check out. And also a quick discretion, unfortunately due to technical issues, it might be a little hard to hear, so apologies in advance. But without further ado, welcome to the first episode of Humble Society with Sheikh Mohammed Elsayed. Welcome to Humble Society podcast. Check it out.
By any means necessary.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh Mohammed, I should say.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا. السلام عليكم ورحمة
الله. So, Sheikh, basically, the plan behind this recording or this meeting today is basically so that we can have it's sort of like a conversation, and in hopes that inshallah, that people will also benefit from it.
إن شاء الله. Beautiful idea. Jazakallah khair for preparing, organizing this, and hosting me here tonight with you. I have to tell the audience that I've known you for years. When you were in Adelaide, we used to play soccer together, and mashallah, both of you are fantastic soccer players.
Well, I know as good as you, Sheikh. Mashallah, used to dribble the whole team. Mashallah, you still have a breath on him too. Mashallah.
Inshallah, when you come back one day, when this is all over, finish coronavirus, and inshallah we'll be able to go back to the masajid first, and then after that the mala'ib. Inshallah, we have you for a game, inshallah.
Inshallah. Well, Sheikh, speaking of the current situation and the virus, I mean, we know that the cases have increased in some cities, but mashallah, it seems like in Adelaide, the cases weren't that much to begin with, but at the same time, it's also decreasing. How is the public reacting to the current situation? Are schools still running? Are people still going to work?
Alhamdulillah, I think we're doing a good job here in South Australia. People are actually following the rules, and thanks to them for that. To control the virus, you have to stay home most of the time, and people are doing a fantastic job in regards to that. Schools are just online now. In my school, where I work at, we do last 2 terms of term 1. We were teaching online, so there was no students in the classroom. We used what we're doing now, a platform where we can communicate with our students. And we're planning to do term 2, which is starting next week, online as well. But I think there's some rumors that the students will be coming back to schools, and the government might encourage students to come back to schools again. And hopefully that's a good sign. That means, alhamdulillah, it's a good sign that the risk is not there anymore, the danger is not there anymore. But at the same time, we shouldn't be relaxed. We shouldn't take this lightly now. We should continue what we're doing. It's a fantastic job to control the virus. Alhamdulillah, last 2 days there were 0 cases in here in Adelaide. which is a fantastic news. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. The curve is like a bouncing ball, so it might be 0 case today, maybe 1 case tomorrow, and keep decreasing until none for good, inshallah.
Inshallah. Inshallah. SubhanAllah, like now that we're in the current times, yani in the 21st century, yani it's so easy for us to work from home, to everything is so accessible to us, even though
Yes,
we are locked inside the houses. Like
yes.
thinking about it 10 years ago from now, sorry, a few years back,
Tough. Yeah.
people would have been struggling, subhanAllah.
And that's a blessing, alhamdulillah. For once, we're using technology on our favor rather than spending, in video gaming and socializing on the Facebook and stuff like that. So, alhamdulillah, this is on our side this time, alhamdulillah. It's a blessing from Allah.
How are students and families and parents in general handling the situation in terms of online studying?
It is a big struggle for everyone, teachers, students, and parents, because the load now is triple and double for teachers for the amount of work they have to do. They have to prepare work that we now send by mail to students, in terms of written materials. So that has to be organized. Organizing the classroom online, communicating with the students online is not easy as well. If you have them all in the classroom, it will be a lot easier. And have also some IT issues. For teachers, with this IT background, they'll be struggling using those platforms. So it's a learning curve for everyone. And as well for parents at home, it's also financial stress on a lot of parents, because they have to buy devices that they can use for their children to use the internet so they can communicate with their teachers. And most of our parents, they have more than one child, have maybe 3, 4 children in high school, for example. Some parents have that. And they can't take that because the class is all at the same time. So it's going to be a bit of financial stress on our parents, which is asking us to make it easy for them. And some other parents as well, for having all their children at the same time at home, sitting trying to do the work, it is a bit tough for everyone. But hopefully, inshallah, soon we'll welcome our students back to schools and life will go back to normal, inshallah.
Inshallah. Ameen, ya Sheikh. Ameen. So, Sheikh, I also wanted to speak to you about going to the masajids. At the moment, we can't go to the masjid and we can't attend Jum'ahs, but subhanAllah, Ramadan, especially here in the West, it's always been, the environment of Ramadan has mainly been within the mosque in itself. We can't wait to finish work to go to the mosque. And a lot of people used to also take time in leave from work just to be able to spend time at the masjid. How do you think now this could be, how can someone now take this on, this Ramadan?
Look, it's sad. It is stressing everyone, and it's saddening everyone to see the masjid closed all the time, especially for Jum'ah and Ramadan, especially that we go for Ramadan. You don't feel the spirit of Ramadan until you go to the masjid in Ramadan. You have the iftar in the masjid, you have Taraweeh prayer, you have tahajjud, you go for probably more salah than you used to go before. You meet more people in the masjid, you're socializing with them. You have a halaqah. So all of the masajid in Ramadan will be more active than the rest of the year. And it's sad that we missed out on this opportunity. It's sad that the masajid will be closed and shut. But we look into the positive side. We understand that this situation, we have to deal with it in a proper manner. And the doctors or healthcare workers advise us not to socialize, not to come together in one place to defeat the virus. And we're just following them because they are the one who give advice right now. And with this situation, we have to think about the positive side of not going to the masjid, that you can start, engaging with your family at home. Most of our parents, especially fathers, they go to the masjid. Sometimes they take the children with them. Sometimes they live home with the mothers. So It's only the father who have that, the spirit of Ramadan. The children and the mothers staying home doing, watching TV, or maybe some parents will read Quran with their children. But maybe this is, I'm talking about like thinking positively about the situation. How can we benefit from this? I would call it opportunity that as a family, we come together approaching Ramadan, and we are staying at home together, performing salah together. So the father, or the one who look after the house, should organize a program for the family. Should encourage his, if he have older sons, to lead the prayer. Teach them how to lead the prayer in Taraweeh, and encourage them to read Quran properly. Have more time with them, focusing on Quran, because Ramadan is the month of the Quran. The wisdom behind fasting is to attain taqwa. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. So the ultimate wisdom of fasting is to attain taqwa, piety. This is the purpose of fasting. But what is the purpose of Ramadan? The purpose of Ramadan is different. The purpose of Ramadan is to focus on the Quran. شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling us explicitly in the Quran that the month of Ramadan is the month of the Quran. So that means we come and focus on the Quran. So if we, most of the shuyukh, most of the ulama, and when Ramadan comes, like Salaf and the Tabi'een, when Ramadan comes, they leave everything and focus on the Quran. Now it is time for us to focus on the Quran. And how can I approach that? It's not just me coming and reading the Quran and finishing khatma one after another, and my kids around in the house, just none of them reading Quran and watching TV, wasting time during Ramadan. Or my wife is just busy cooking and I'm not helping, or not, taking care of her as well, like in terms of teaching her, or allowing her some time to sit down and read the Quran. She could probably read the Quran better than me. She could sit down with me and teach me the Quran. There's nothing wrong with that. So it is time to bond together as a family. All of us have to focus and have a great approach to the Quran, because Ramadan is the month of the Quran, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala explained that explicitly in the Quran.
I think also a lot of youth, Sheikh, that are studying at uni, like especially when I was uni, I remember we had a lot of shabab that used to come, international students, and they didn't have their families here, but we would spend Ramadan together, and it was uni, and then it was the mosque. So now that everyone is studying from home and working from home and such, those that don't have families, those that are isolated with themselves, how can someone benefit from that? Just how can?
Well, I would say that's a good point, and I feel for my brothers and sisters who are here in Australia as students and they don't have much family around them. Maybe it's our opportunity to get in touch with them. Maybe not physically, but with a platform like you're doing right now. Like maybe have a FaceTime call with them, have a word or a time that you sit together with your close friends. You have a halaqah. You can do that easily now with this technology. We have to take the technology on the side. Call them and organize like you did with your podcast, mashallah. You organize with other people, those that uni, and those who have no family, that you can organize a meeting online once a day, that you can sit in a halaqah and read the Quran. Also, maybe that will also help them emotionally and spiritually, because they will feel that they're not just alone on this, and they could feel some of the spirit of Ramadan. If you can cook some meal and send it to them, that would be great as well. Just we can or maybe you can collect database, like collect names and phone numbers, and not just you holding this responsibility. See, like Brother Wael with you and other brothers who are over there in Sydney, and maybe contact the brothers in Adelaide. Brother Ibrahim, I think, mashallah, is a fantastic social worker. I would say in the university. He's a legend. You can call him and ask about what you're doing, and just have more centralized, not just in Sydney and Adelaide, like all over Australia, and just benefit from each other ideas.
So Sheikh, also, yeah, Ramadan is the month of Quran, and we want to learn. For those that are not in the norm of, unfortunately, visiting, like myself, from reading the Quran on a daily basis, how can we get into that zone? How can we train ourselves to get into, especially now that we have a couple of days before we start Ramadan?
Well, it's a great question. Think about Ramadan as a marathon. You know, marathon. How does it work? If you start running from the first minute, like full speed, you'll be tired halfway, and you probably would lose at the end of the month. You'll be very tired at the end, and you won't finish your marathon. But take it easy, gradually build up, your speed, build up your strength, and increase and lift your bar gradually, day by day. So if you haven't set a routine or a tradition, like you spend time with the Quran on a daily basis, and this is you're just about to start to read the Quran, you need to address many issues. Do you read? Do you know how to read the Quran or not? If you know, that's great news. Then you go ahead and start reading. Maybe a page a day, 2 pages a day. Some people go crazy at the first day. Some people go 2, 3, 4 juz a day, and then halfway through Ramadan, they get tired. They get busy. Yeah. So you have to be smart. You have to work out your time. No one can tell you how to work out your time. No one can tell you you need to read this amount because this is the proper amount. There is no proper amount. It is according to your ability. But we are encouraged to push ourselves, you know, to increase our effort to reach higher level. وسارعوا إلى مغفرة من ربكم وجنة عرضها السماوات والأرض. This is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands us in the Quran, to compete in goodness all the time. Yes, we know that our friends that maybe a bit better than us in reading the Quran, maybe we can just call them and have this and read together, so we can catch up with their level of recitation. We can learn something new. You have the halaqa, it's very important, Ramadan. Get someone who is learned with the Quran and sit with the brothers who's struggling with reading the Quran and teach them so they can read at home in their own time. But yes, it's a great opportunity, Ramadan. The Prophet ﷺ mentioned a hadith: رغم أنف رجل ذكرت عنده ولم يصلي عليه ورغم أنف رجل دخل عليه رمضان ثم انسلخ منه قبل أن يغفر له ورغم أنف رجل أدرك عنده أبواه الكبر فلم يدخله الجنة. This is a great hadith of Rasulullah ﷺ reported by Tirmidhi and Hakim. The Prophet ﷺ said, he is doomed, the man who hears me, or heard my name mentioned and does not pray on me, then does not send salah and salam for the Prophet ﷺ. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala ali Muhammad على آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. So every time we hear the name of the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, we need to send salah and salam to him. صلى عليه صلاة صلى الله عليه بها عشر. He is doomed, the man who reached Ramadan, then it's end without being forgiven. Ramadan is the month of forgiveness, and it's a great opportunity. So the Prophet ﷺ telling us, you'll be regretful, you'll be doomed if Ramadan came and passed and you didn't take this opportunity. We don't know if we're going to live next year for Ramadan again, right? Do we know how many people they were with us last Ramadan and they're not with us today? And don't tell me, a lot of young people passed away through last year, right? People we know, right? Yeah. So it is opportunity. We're not sure if we're going to have this opportunity again. Ramadan to Ramadan is forgiveness from minor sins. إذا ما اجتنبت بالكبائر كما ذكر النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم in another hadith. Between Ramadan and Ramadan, Allah forgive all minor sins, as long as we stay away from the major sins, right? So, and Subhanallah, if you look into it, if you think about the nations before Islam and compare it to the nation of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the lifespan of the nation before Islam, how long they used to live. If you remember Prophet Nuh alayhi salam, how many years he lived for?
Yeah, 950.
Right?
Yeah.
900. He used to live longer life than us. For Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, out of His wisdom, out of His generosity, He gave us opportunities And the Prophet ﷺ mentioned in a hadith, أعمار أمتي بين 60 و70. The lifespan of my ummah is, or the average lifespan of my ummah is between 60 and 70. Right?
That's right.
So this is the average lifespan. People live for 60 or 70. Could be a little bit older or a little bit younger. They die. So if you compare the lifespan for the Ummah of Muhammad and the nation before Islam, you would say it's not fair. We don't live enough to make more good deeds than like those people before Islam, right? But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, out of His generosity and out of His wisdom, He give us opportunity like this. Ramadan is one of the best opportunities that we can increase our effort, multiply our good deeds, and there's one night in Ramadan. Laylatul Qadr. How many? 1,000. 83.3 years. One night.
Wow.
If you match the price of Ramadan every year, to how old are we now? 30, 40? For how many years we've been praying with Ramadan? For how many years we've been, let's say 20 years, right? That's 20 by 83.3 years. You do the math. SubhanAllah.
Yes.
I agree to you know,
Yes.
there's a Sahih hadith about Jum'ah. I know now we can't go to Masjid Jum'ah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala open the Masajid door to us again.
Ameen.
There's a beautiful hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And we can, wallahi, subhanAllah, this is like a gem, like a treasure to all of us. And the hadith goes like, من غسل واغتسل وبكر وابتكر ومشى إلى المسجد ودنا من الإمام ولم يلغو كان له لكل خطوة أجر سنة قيامها وقيامها.
Yes.
Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam that whoever have a bath or shower for Jum'ah, especially for Jum'ah. I'm not talking about cleanliness in Islam, huh?
Yeah.
You know, subhanAllah, there's a divine protection from many viruses, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
من غسل وغسل وبكر وابتكر. He went early in the first hour. That's in the first line close to the Imam. Sat there and listened to the khutbah without talking at all, without making any noise. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put that person with every step he takes to the masjid, every step, not the whole step, every step he takes to the masjid, 1 year of fasting during its days and praying during its days. Ya Allah. What a beautiful opportunity. Ramadan is the same. A great focus and come back to the Quran. By the way, when you come back to the Quran, it's not just reading and learn how to recite the Quran. Right?
Yes.
No.
We are more required to make the double on the verses. Right? Make
That's
more
right.
the double for memorization. That's more important than the memorization. Okay? Many of us memorize the whole entire Quran, but they don't understand the Quran. What is the point? Right? So the أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked them, why don't they contemplate and ponder over the verses of the Quran? And on the other hand, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ. So those brothers and sisters who student the Quran and find it difficult and think that they can memorize, think that they can read, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us,
Yes.
verily, make the Quran easy to be remembered. Allah is telling us, right? And the Prophet ﷺ mentioned a hadith narrated by Aisha radiallahu anha, and يقرأ القرآن وهو ماهر به. Whoever read the Quran perfectly and smoothly, inshallah, will all be on one day on that level.
Inshallah.
His level or her level will be with the Malaika al-Kiram al-Bar. Right?
SubhanAllah.
And whoever read the Quran, this is my point. Whoever read the Quran and struggle with it, my brothers and sisters are still struggling with reading the Quran, which we all be at like this at one stage, or still be, some of us still be struggling with the Quran, how to read the Quran. Remember this hadith of Rasulullah to give you encouragement, to give you, to keep you pumped, to read more Quran. What the Prophet says, when يقرأ القرآن ويتتعتع فيه, whoever read the Quran and struggle with the recitation, with the reading of the Quran, stumble over the verses of the Quran, فَلَهُ أَجْرٌ. He will get double. Ya Allah.
Allah.
Double the reward. And what is the reward of reading the Quran? 10 good deeds per letter, isn't it?
Yeah.
لا أقول ألف لام ميم حرف ولكن ألف حرف لام حرف ونون.
SubhanAllah.
Prophet said, whoever read the Quran, every letter he reads is 10 good deeds.
Yeah.
And he mentioned in the same hadith, he said, لا أقول ألف لام ميم حرف. I do not say ألف لام ميم is one letter, but ألف is a letter, لام is a letter, and mim is a letter. That's good deeds. And multiply that by 2, that is, it's those who struggle, those brothers and sisters to find it hard to read the Quran. So don't be encouraged when you find it difficult to read the Quran. When you read one ayah for half an hour, nothing wrong with that. The more you repeat, the more it's a win-win situation for you, right?
No.
So it is time. It is time that we come to the Quran. It is time that we use this great opportunity, which is Allah Subhanahu wa Taala has put in front of us every single year. That is like a training camp. We come to it every year. We focus on spiritually in ourselves, get close to Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, because that's what we need to do, is to enhance our taqwa. Ali radiallahu anhu was asked about what does taqwa mean. He said, al-khawf bil-jalil, wal-amal bil-jalil, wal-ridha bil-qalil, wal-istidad lil-yawm. He explained taqwa, Ali radiallahu anhu, that taqwa is al-khawf min al-jalil, to be fearful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to be mindful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because if you feel him, be mindful.
No.
Al-amal bil-jalil, and you follow the commandment of the Quran and the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. الرضا بالقليل, to be content with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given, even if it's little. Be happy with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you. والاستعداد ليوم القيامة, to prepare yourself continuously to the day of judgment. This is what taqwa means. Okay? When the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was asked in the beautiful hadith Jibreel, the famous hadith all of us know and memorize. When Jibreel asked the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam responded? He says, أن تعبد الله كأنك correct لم تكن تراه فإنه يراك. To worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as if you see him, and you can't see him, and he sees you. This is the highest level of iman. This is ihsan. This is what we all aiming to reach that level by the end of Ramadan.
Inshallah.
And start continue with that after Ramadan. Your connection with Ramadan is connection with the Quran. It's connection with taqwa. These two things. So when Ramadan finish, you need to feel the spirit is high. You need to feel that you're more closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by the end of Ramadan. That means you train yourself well during Ramadan. But if the spirit was the same, taqwa level was the same, then you didn't learn much through this opportunity. Same with the Quran. If Ramadan comes with you, for example, you're level 5 of reading the Quran, you should be finishing the Quran, Ramadan with level 6 or 7 or 8, right? If you were still the same level, then you missed out on the opportunity of Ramadan. You missed out on an opportunity that you need to focus in the month Ramadan, because the Ramadan is the month of the Quran. The Abbas radiallahu anhu says, Abbas is the interpreter of Quran. He said the Quran was sent down holy in Ramadan. And in the next part, the Quran was sent down in Ramadan. Was sent down, and Jibreel used to come and the Prophet used to revise the Quran with him throughout Ramadan and throughout the Qadr. So it's a great opportunity, and we have to take it. We're not sure what we can live for next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, subhanAllah. Especially with these unprecedented times, and actually not just hearing about death, also knowing that, you know what I mean, there's a slight chance that you might actually be a victim. You know what I mean? May Allah protect the Muslims. May Allah protect all the people all around the world. But just that thought in itself is scary, subhanAllah. And it's kind of, and it gives it from a good way, looking at it from a good way, I guess it gives you that push and that motivation, like you said. Yeah, subhanAllah. So, Sheikh, you did mention about learning the Quran, and for those that are just starting, for those that need a little bit of push, a little bit of motivation, um, is there a particular online platform that you know of? Or how do you recommend that a person should approach this? If he wants to learn Arabic or he wants to learn how to read Quran and actually put effort through learning from someone. Do you recommend that this person reach out for mashayikh or individuals, or is there
There's
actual platforms that you
plenty of
know of?
resources online. Yes, Alhamdulillah, there's plenty of resources online and plenty of shuyukh, mashallah, offering their services online. Um, there's Al-Fajr, or the Dawn Institute, Brother Ahmed Abu Hilwa, mashallah, they have a Ijaza program starting from Iqra level book 1 until Ijaza level. They have a with structure program for everyone. I would recommend whoever you talk to you about learning the Quran, maybe to communicate with them. It's called the Al-Fajr Institute. There will also be Ala Zukum from Melbourne. He is preparing one juz'ah every night for Ramadan. I'll be co-hosting with him a few nights of Ramadan, inshallah, with other shuyukh.
Yeah, mashallah, I saw that.
Yeah, we'll take turns. That will be online and that will be free for everyone to join in and share.
Yeah,
So, inshallah, this is a good opportunity to get people in touch with the Quran. I'm not sure if I find any more resources, I'll send it to you, inshallah.
inshallah.
Going back to Ramadan, we did speak about the benefit of reading Quran and maybe tadabbur of the Quran. What other good deeds that a person can do during Ramadan?
All type of good deeds. If you look at the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in terms of sadaqah, he was أجود الناس, as I mentioned in the hadith of Aisha رضي الله عنها. كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أجود الناس وكان أجود ما يكون في رمضان. He was the most generous person. صلى الله عليه وسلم. He was more generous in the month of Ramadan. So giving a charity, especially in the month of Ramadan, is highly encouraged by the Sunnah of Rasulullah. So this is something you don't want to miss out on. I know in Ramadan, every year we host the iftars, we make food and take it away to the masjid to feed, brothers and sisters who have no family or students, and we try to help out. And this is considered, an act of charity as well. But now this is going to be difficult to do that because you're not required to host people who have like iftars. It's illegal to do that now, which is a good thing, to be honest. We waste so much time with family iftars.
Yeah.
It's a good spirit of Ramadan that you visit and family visit you, but it's Ramadan. You don't want to waste that opportunity. You just want to be with the ibadah. You don't want to just sit in the chat and watch TV. Like in our countries, if you go home, Ramadan is all about watching TV and all these TV series come out in the month of Ramadan, which is a sad thing in life.
Yeah.
We've been watching the Egyptian news recently. Allah, it's a funny one. I'll mention this now.
Yeah.
This guy is the Naqib al-Mumathilin, which is like the minister of actors and actors.
Okay.
The one who facilitates things. So he was in the media, like they host him in the media, and he says, we're doing a fantastic job. We're putting our life into risk, and all of these actors and actresses are putting their life into risk to make sure they finish this series before Ramadan starts, so it'll be ready to start. So it'll be ready. And subhanallah, he make it like like doctors. He went to the hospital to help people affected with coronavirus and how much risk they have. SubhanAllah, you should be staying home as well. You're risking other people's life by going out and filming this nonsense. So, Allah al-musta'an. Like it's,
Yeah, TV series is a very, yeah.
sorry?
I was gonna say TV series are very. It became part of Ramadan every year, especially I would say
It's a culture,
mostly
yeah.
Muslim world. Yeah,
And it's that thing. Alhamdulillah, we in here in Australia for the past few years when we moved here. Alhamdulillah, we don't have this issue.
alhamdulillah.
Like
Yes,
everyone has TV. You come in and out. Mom is cooking and sister helping and watching TV. And you're sitting on the table having iftar and watching TV. So TV is well integrated in their life.
yeah,
And Ramadan is just a big thing. And I wish that they cancel it this year, so people can just focus on Ramadan quickly and they feel it for once.
that's right. Yeah,
Alhamdulillah, here we're not affected that much because we don't have that. We don't have the digital and also the time difference.
time difference. Yeah,
Yes, we're blessed with it. So yeah, focus on Ramadan. I just want to mention one thing about fasting as well is fasting teaches us to give up halal things. You know, to give up eating and drinking, which is used to be halal. To give up the course for those who are married, which is halal. But this is teach you when you give halal for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's more important to give haram, to give up haram. Because you give up halal for his sake, so that means you train yourself not to come near haram.
yes,
Right? You understand that point?
yeah,
So fasting is a mean of avoiding the things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has forbidden. It trains us and teaches us that. Fasting means make us to appreciate give thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because when we fast, we feel hunger and thirst. We appreciate the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the bounty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the fridge that's full of food, right? The clean water that we drink. We appreciate that. But also at the same time, we recognize and feel for those who are underprivileged, those who don't have the food that we have, don't have the clean water that we have, and we feel for them and we try to help out. There's so many blessings in Ramadan. Ramadan and fasting enable us to control our desire, because when a person is full, his desire grow. But if he's hungry, then his desire becomes weak. Imam Taymiyyah says, you know, shaitan, as I mentioned in hadith, shaitan grows in our blood vein. Right?
yeah,
Imam Taymiyyah explained that when you fast, your blood veins, this is his explanation, your blood veins become tight. It's not as wide that when your stomach is full, the blood is running everywhere, and you're pumping blood everywhere, more than when you're hungry and thirsty. So the blood vein is big and wide. That's his explanation, but that's his explanation. And then shaitan runs faster. That's what he said. But when you fast during Ramadan, the blood veins become narrower.
Yeah.
So shaitan will be finding difficult to run around. Even though in Ramadan, shayateen will be chained anyway. The Prophet said in hadith that when Ramadan comes, the doors of heaven will be open and the doors or the gates of hellfire will be closed and shayateen will be chained. And this is another way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessing us. He blessed us with Ramadan, that He chained the shayateen. It's just you now. It's just your inner soul, your egos, and your bad experience with shaitan. How are you going to get rid of that during the month of Ramadan without shaitan? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala trying to make it easy for us. Shaitan is chained, so it's just you now. You focus on yourself, you focus on your own problems, and get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's so many benefits of Ramadan and benefits of fasting. Fasting also training us to remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But always watching, when you fast, always vigilant with what you listen to, what you look at, because you don't want to waste Ramadan. It's supposed that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has no need for anyone to give up his food and drinks if he does not, do the right thing, does not fulfill the commandment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If someone is fasting, like food and drink, but at the same time sitting at home watching TV. And we know these Arabs and Egyptian TV dramas have a lot of haram things that we can't be watching, especially in Ramadan. All right, so what is the point of fasting then if we watch TV and not spending Ramadan with the Quran and Ibadah? What is the point? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala thinks there is no point of the fasting because you're not lowering your gaze, you're not protecting your ears from listening to haram, you're not training yourself to remember Allah instead, you know. And this is the purpose of fasting, is to enhance your taqwa. So you're always vigilant when you come to, before Ramadan. Sometimes when we let go for our gaze and we look around, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive all of us. But when you fast, remember that if you look longer than normal, your fasting will be affected. Your fasting may not be accepted, and you want the reward of fasting, the reward that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prepared, that the special gate, paradise, only fasting people enter from that gate. So we're training ourselves to quit our bad habits. Those who, for example, smoking, maybe this is a great opportunity to quit smoking. And I've seen a lot of people, they quit their smoking in Ramadan. Ramadan comes, they quit smoking and they don't come back to it again. Alhamdulillah, this is a great achievement in this Ramadan for them. Alhamdulillah.
What about like exercises? If someone is to do exercise during Ramadan,
Alhamdulillah. With the good intention, you can turn your routine into ibadah. So you exercise depends on your intention. All right? If you exercise for the sake you get fit, so you can stay up at night to pray more tahajjud. If you want to stay, you want to exercise so you can be fit and healthy to fast Ramadan and fast and continue fasting after Ramadan. If you want to be like fit and healthy so you can go out and help with any humanitarian work, if you want to help other people who needed your help, there's so many ways that you can turn your routine, your aada, into ibadah. And you have to be smart about the intention. You can multiply intention. Like, for example, you can go play a soccer match at the same time. You're enjoying and having fun, for example. You can't do that now.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, you're exercising, you're playing your favorite game, and at the same time, you're training yourself, or having an intention that you're training yourself so you can be fit and healthy, so that allow you to do more ibadah, right? You can wake up in the middle of the night, pray tahajjud, and so on and so forth. Also, you're doing this because it's the sunnah of Rasulullah encourage us to be fit and healthy. المؤمن القوي خير وأحب الله تعالى من المؤمن الضعيف. The Prophet mentioned a hadith that the strong believer is more beloved and favorable to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than the weak one. And then he said, وَفِي كُلٍّ خَيْرٍ. Both of them, they have khayr in it. Right? So when you do exercise, you're doing it for the sake to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because Allah like those who are strong, like those who are healthy. And also with the intention that, your body is a manna from Allah, it's a trust from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you doing it to look after the trust that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has trusted you with it. So in many ways you can turn your routine into ibadah. But you have to be very careful with Ramadan. When it comes to exercising and training, is this going to affect your salah at night or not? Because in Ramadan is different. In fasting, you're trying. But if you exercise, everyone is different. It could work for you, it could not work for someone else. You need to work it out. You need to see if this is working out for you. And the best thing is to have a plan for yourself. A plan for the whole entire Ramadan. So if you want to exercise, you put that on your plan. If you want to read the Quran, you put that on your plan. And you have certain times, certain hours of the day to do this, to do that, and you're making sure your day is busy with good things, right? And make sure if you still live at home, make sure you allocate some time to help your mom, because that's what we do most of the time. We just enjoy the food that they cook for us. MashaAllah, they do amazing jobs. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant them al-firdaus and have mercy on our fathers, right? Make sure that you give time for your family, that you can sit and help them. And for those who are married, maybe you can help your wife at home, taking care of the kids for a couple of hours that she can rest for a bit and read her word of the Quran. Taking turns. Maybe you can cook one night, clean the dishes, nothing wrong with that. And he was a great husband, a great example for all of us. He used to stitch his shoes and stitch his clothes and make everything for himself. right? So there's different ways you can spend it. But everything has to be planned. Have a good plan and approach Ramadan with a good plan. And one important thing is approaching Ramadan, yani a few days inshallah, we should start Ramadan with a good tawbah. Before Ramadan comes, we have to declare and make tawbah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because we're not perfect. We all make mistakes. None of us is perfect. It is time to repent and seek Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgiveness. And I know some of us, they've done so much, bad deeds that they think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not forgive their sins. And this is from shaitan. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala explained that in the Quran, قُلْ يَا عِبَادِيَ الَّذِينَ أَسْرَفُوا عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ لَا تَقْنَطُوا مِنْ رَحْمَةِ اللَّهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَغْفِرُ الذُّنُوبَ جَمِيعًا. O my servant who transgress against himself, meaning doing bad deeds, doing haram deeds, do not lose hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is what Allah telling us. When we do bad deeds, that means that means we can't lose hope in Allah. Because without Him, we will not be successful in this life or the hereafter. Right?
Yes.
So if you've done whatever you've done, it is time to repent and approach Ramadan as a clean person. Make istighfar. Allah subhanallah, istighfar is one of the amazing things. If you are in trouble, make istighfar. If you need help from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, make istighfar. If you want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept your dua, make istighfar. If you want to pass your exam, make istighfar. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands us in the Quran. تَغْفِرُوا رَبَّكُمْ ثُمَّ تُوبُوا إِلَيْهِ. Make istighfar to your Lord and seek repentance. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us about the benefit of the istighfar in the Quran. What He said on the lips of Nuh alayhi salam to his people. وَقُلْتُ اسْتَغْفِرُوا رَبَّكُمْ إِنَّهُ كَانَ غَفَّارًا يُرْسِلِ السَّمَاءَ عَلَيْكُمْ مِدْرَارًا يَمْدِدْكُم بِأَمْوَالٍ وَبَنِينَ وَيَجْعَل لَّكُمْ جَنَّاتٍ وَيَجْعَل لَّكُمْ أَنْهَارًا. Nuh alayhi salam was advising his people, those who idol worshippers, to make istighfar, to make tawbah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with idol worship and make istighfar and come back to Him. And when they do that, what's going to happen? يرسل السماء عليكم مدرارا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will send the rain, beneficial rain, the heavens. That will be beneficial for you, your animals, and your plants. يرسل السماء عليكم مدرارا ويمددكم بأموال وبنين. He will increase you in wealth and children. ويجعل لكم جنات ويجعل لكم أنهارا. He will give you gardens and He will run rivers under those fields. So a lot of blessing comes to this istighfar. A lot of blessing. And this is the time that we approach Ramadan clean. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgiveness for everything. We return to Him. We start. This is a fresh start. For my brothers and sisters who, have done something wrong, it is time to return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is your opportunity. This is your chance. Make a good use of it. Start with istighfar and don't let shaitan disencourage you, telling you that you can't, Allah will not forgive you. Allah telling you in the Quran, telling all of us that Allah forgives all type of sins. Inna Allah yaghfiru dhunuba jami'a. Allah forgives all sins. So when shaitan come and whisper to you and tell you, you've done something really bad, you can't ask forgiveness. It's very silly to ask forgiveness for that. This is from shaitan. Don't listen to him. Remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Remember His word, because His word is the haqq, the truth. And make this Ramadan as a turning point for you and for your life. If you have a bad habit, quit it this Ramadan. And you will feel it after Ramadan. Trust me, you will feel the difference and you will be waiting for the next Ramadan to increase more in ibadah and to get more closer to Allah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us hidayah and tawfiq. Amen.
Ameen. Barakallah feek, Sheikh.
Ameen, ya Sheikh. Jazakallahu khairan. It's been such a beautiful session, wallahi, Sheikh. I know you have a class to teach tomorrow, being Monday and so forth. In different circumstances, Sheikh, we would be sitting face to face and doing this, but unfortunately, because of the isolation,
We're also very isolated.
we're isolated. The reason we're sitting next to each
I'm
other.
not sure about the distance between you two, my brothers. Is that the legal?
We're trying.
In trouble. You have enough cable?
Yeah. Yeah, well, next time we need to measure actually our distance.
Careful, yes.
But hopefully we can
1.5.
get a pass. Yes,
right.
yes, inshallah. But hopefully we can get a pass because we do live together. So, inshallah, Sheikh, in the near future, once everything is calmed down, hopefully we can, meet in person. I have to do this again as well. Thank you for giving us your time.
Yeah.
It's been such a pleasure. والله.
جزاك الله خير. Allah will do the best inshallah.
آمين.
بلغوا عني ولو آية. Get the same reward inshallah.
آمين. Inshallah, ya Sheikh.
آمين.
Inshallah.
Get the same inshallah. May Allah bless you and accept from you and all of us inshallah. And allow this Ramadan to be beneficial and a turning point to every one of us inshallah.
آمين.
آمين.